Hello everyone, welcome to the post-race press conferences of Bahrain, or Bahrain. We've got both the F2 and F1 drivers and managers here, and we'll be giving a couple of interviews, asking questions, and generally pointing out their perspective of things. First person I'm going to call up is the arts driver from F2, Storm. Hi Storm, how you doing, mate? You going to talk? While Storm says out his mic, I'll call up someone else. Let's get Josh up here. Josh, how you doing, mate?
Yeah, I'm doing good.
So, first two races, a sprint and a feature. What's your initial reaction to it?
Pardon, I didn't really hear your question. Can you say again, please?
So you've complete your first two races. How do you think you've done in your first two?
Yeah, I mean, could have improved. Obviously, qualifying was really bad. I spun on the turn 11 corner, but yeah, very big improvements in the race. Obviously, finished fourth and third. So hopefully, I can just take into next race and keep getting Campos points.
Obviously, you do have a super license. Are you intending to is like F2 what you're going to be doing, or are you just doing this to prove yourself so you can move up to F1?
Yeah, obviously I lost my C in F1 before the season started, and F2, as much as I don't want to be in it, I feel like it is a good place where I can prove myself to the managers again, and hopefully I can get my call up back to F1 by the end of this season.
Sounds like a good plan. Who do you think was like a very special driver this weekend? Who do you think really proved themselves?
Probably Joshua KJ, because like at times I was faster, and then obviously at the end of the sprint, the constant fighting was really exciting and put a lot of adrenaline in me. But like I wasn't expecting him to be as good as he was, I guess.
So you think Joshua has really shown his skill level and shown that he can compete with the veterans of the sport?
Yeah.
And finally, mate, what's your objective for the rest of the season? You trying to get Campos the constructors win?
As long as my teammate and I can work well together and keep collecting points, I feel like we can go for the constructors title. But also, I do want to kind of challenge for the drivers, even though there's very good drivers like Salt here.
Sounds like a great plan, mate. Thank you very much for your time. I do wish you the best of luck in practice for the next race, which is Spain. And thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you.
Next up, I'll call Storm back, because I believe he said he fixed his mic. Hi, Storm.
Hello.
And there you go. So, Storm,
Thanks.
you got your first podium, your first race in the DNF. What are your thoughts?
I think I drove well.
So your DNF, explain it to me. What happened?
Well, Ace was a retard.
Oh, okay.
Pretty much. Put it blunt. Yeah, pretty much.
Wait, so Ace was the reason you were DNF'd as well?
Yeah. What's it called? We were going up the hill towards the second to last turn, and he just turned randomly left into me.
Huh. So Ace has DNF for both of the art drivers. Well, Salt was indirectly, but.
But no, he's just a retard, I think.
So do you have anything to say to him?
What, Ace?
Right now. Yeah, do you have anything to say to him?
Yeah, learn to drive.
I'm sure he'll have a comment on that when I call him up later. Apart from that, what's your objective going forward when you don't get taken out?
Well, my objective, because of obviously Salt and all that, I think third in drivers is probably a suitable position, and you won't get it though. And first in constructors should be good.
Sounds like a good idea. Do you have anything else you want to say to anyone that might be listening right now? Maybe some of your fans.
Big up Joseph Loke. Step forward and salt your trash in real life. So shut up.
Okay, thank you very much for your time, mate.
Okay, bye, dickhead.
Storm will be fined 500 grand for that outburst. Next up, I'll call Ace. Strike while the fire's hot. Maybe Ace, I've invited you. Ace, okay. Ace was not here. We'll call up Ak. Ak, how are you doing, mate?
Hello, I'm very splendid.
Sounds good, mate. So obviously, is it your first season? I don't remember if you were here last season.
I wasn't. This is my first season.
So your debut season in TFR. How did you do so
Indeed.
far?
Well, bald qualifying. I involved in my lap literally in the first corner, but then I think it's going okay so far. I think it's alright. It's alright.
Yeah, like P1 sprint's quite impressive considering how fast some of the drivers are. Obviously, you probably got helped by the DNF with Sol and Storm, but
Yeah.
do you reckon you can continue to hit those high points?
I reckon I can get podiums in every race weekend for sure. Like, but if I get better luck and less incidents, so I got involved in a few incidents that were probably my fault and the other driver's fault as well. But as long as we keep it clean and we keep it consistent, we should be sweet.
So you're aiming for those podium spots, those top 3 spots, which will grant you the super license for next season.
Pretty much, yeah.
That's a very, very high objective. Who's your teammate at the moment? I don't think it was a race driver.
My
Ninja.
teammate in, yeah.
He's also done very well. So do you have anything you want to say
Yes.
to your teammate? Or
if we keep her lit, we can easily win the constructors. Well, actually, no, I don't know. Salt's a bit cracked, but I think if we capitalize on other teams' errors, we can easily do well.
Do you reckon you'll be contending for top 3, or do you reckon you'll win it?
Well, my teammate.
Yeah.
Well, me and him will probably both be fighting for podiums every race if Bahrain's letting to go by.
So you have a very strong foundation as a team. And who's your manager at the moment? Who's the manager of Race Lab?
Bro, I have no clue.
I was going to ask you a question about your manager, but he clearly isn't involved.
Bro, I don't know. I'll have a look now, actually. I'll have a look.
So obviously some managers are more involved than others.
Avalock. Yes. MC Avalock. He messaged me like once after the race because he didn't even know I was here either. So.
Okay. Obviously, in your first feature race, you didn't quite get the results you wanted. What happened there?
Well, like I said, I bottled the qualifying, but then I started doing a wee bit well. Struggling to get through the pack a little bit because obviously it's hectic.
Yeah,
but
it's hefty.
And then I can't remember who it was, but he went deep into turn 10, I think, and then I lost my head, thought that he was backing out, and we obviously collided, and we both got wing damage. But luckily, on the last lap, someone balled it in the top 8, so I got reverse grid pole. So happy days.
Very well done, mate. Thank you very much for your time. I'm going to move on to the next person. Wishing you all the best of luck in Spain.
Thank you.
All right. Next up, is there any other F2 drivers? James, we'll get James in here. Hi, James. How you doing, mate?
Awful. Just
Awful.
Generally awful.
That's not that great. Is that due to your results?
No, I'm baffled. It was awful. Just all around awful. Qualifying was all right, but then I got, there was some interesting incidents in both races. I mean, sprint T1 was just that's just not something. Never mind. It's just someone going straight on. And
Yeah.
hit me.
You and Zoga don't appear to have that great of a weekend.
Yeah. Zolgar was struggling all both races, and I was just struggling with wing damage the whole weekend. So yeah, that was that. Off to
Yeah.
Spain, and we'll see how it goes. I think I'm capable of the top 5 I need for SL. So I hope that helps.
Just so you know, even if you do get enough points for it, doesn't mean you're necessarily going to get it.
You will. You will give it to me. I'm gonna. It's not a question anymore.
In this order. So you and Zoga obviously didn't have the greatest weekend together. What do you reckon the reasoning was for it?
Zoger had a bad setup, and I told you it was all the incidents. I could have had a podium place in the feature, maybe top 5, definitely. But it was bottled.
Just didn't go your way.
Yep.
So you just saying that you're just gonna pretend this weekend didn't happen and you just try and move on and work on your next weekend.
Yes, definitely.
And finally, is there anything else you want to say to anyone listening right now? Maybe some of your fans or your opponents?
I think some of the drivers don't um think I'm capable of winning races, but I did it like 3 times last season, so I can do that. So
So you're saying you're out for blood and you're coming for all of them?
Yes, I'm very out of energy. I can't speak very energetically.
All right, mate. I'll let you get some rest then. Thank you very much for coming on, and I wish you the best of luck.
Thank you.
Okay. I'm gonna try and get Joshua on now. I'm not sure if he's free. Hi, Josh. How you doing, mate?
Hello, I'm good, thanks. How are you?
I'm doing pretty well. So how do you think about your first race?
Well, I think overall it went all right, to be fair. But I wasn't the most happy with it. Obviously, missing all the preseason tests, and I was a bit in the dark as to where I was on pace, and I didn't have the most amount of practice. But I think I made the most of it.
Yeah. So you got a second in the sprint and a sixth in the feature. That's quite a good amount of points. Do you reckon that Dams will be able to push in for a top 3 in the constructors?
I certainly hope so. If we can get a driver in, we've been having a lot of trouble getting a second driver, but I'm sure if we can get a consistent runner, we can definitely fight for that.
So yeah, I reckon some free agents might be listening tonight. What are you looking for a second driver? What are you looking at for as a teammate?
Well, I mean, I'm happy to be a team player, so I don't mind if literally really someone fast. I guess obviously it'd be nice. I want the team to do well. Obviously, I want to get my own points, but yeah, just someone who can consistently be there and we can work together.
Just trying to get someone that really holds the team together and you two can bond as a team. Push forward. So in your first race, you didn't do as well as your second race. Is there any reasoning for that? Just a bad quality position, or?
Yeah, I done a bottle job on the qualifying, but yeah, I think the nerves. I was trying to sort of not get any track limits violations, but also trying to be fast, and obviously those two don't mix. You have to go all out if you want a decent qualifying, but I wasn't able to do that.
Just weren't pushing yourself enough. We. So I do not believe you're involved in any incidents, were you? I can't remember any.
No, I had a couple of wheel banging moments, but it was all just hard racing. I had a lot of battles, to be honest, but yeah, nothing bad happened.
Well, obviously we have about a decent amount of F2 grid listening at the moment right now. You can call anyone out? Say who your rival's going to be.
Ooh, I'm not sure, to be honest, because I had the last season out. I definitely lost my flow a little bit, but I remember I think it was Brazil, at the end of the season before last. I was actually battling with Salt, and I think I ended up beating him. That was just literally beat him on the line. It was a photo finish, but that's a race I was really proud of, and it kind of showed. Like as soon as I knew who Salt was, it definitely gave me a confidence booster. So I mean, I'd say Salt, but like that's a big.
You're going to say you're going for Salt, yeah? You're going for the champ.
I'd say I am. I mean, but yeah, obviously it's a tall order, but we'll
Mate,
see
I
what I can do.
respect the confidence. I respect the confidence.
Yeah, who knows?
See what, mate? I'm going to wish you the best of luck with that. But I'm going to have to move on to the next person.
Thank
Good luck,
you.
mate.
Yeah. Cheers. Bye.
All right. Is there anyone left in F2? There is not. I'll get Sam up here. Hi, Sam. How you doing?
Yo, are you right?
I'm doing pretty good, mate. So your first race, you told me beforehand you were aiming for just points. What was it, top 5? I'm sure you're going to be happy with that.
Yeah, I mean, it'll be P4 after Finn's disgraceful reset to track.
Oh, yeah.
yeah,
So,
I
yeah,
mean-
you're going 4th.
Yeah, I'm relatively happy, but realistically, it should have been P3 after spinning behind Joe, which didn't help, and then spinning again put me right down. So it should have been P3, but you know what? I'll take P4 to start with.
You showed some tremendous pace in that race. You were very fast. You were very good in your tire wear as well. Was there any strategy around it, or is it just you went out there and drove your best?
I mean, it was still a learning curve. That was my first race with no ABS. It's just, I don't know, the tyres. I was all right on the tyres actually. That surprised me a bit. But some laps I was really quick, some laps I was slow, so it was quite inconsistent with my pace. But yeah, there was no strat. It was just full send.
I was obviously commentating and watching the race. You made some very good overtakes in it, and before the race, you didn't give you a rival. Now you're here. Are you going to be able to say who you're aiming to beat, who your rivals are?
Finn.
It's going to beat Finn.
Well, Finn, and you always have a rivalry with a teammate, don't you? So Finn around.
And also the pit wall. I did get told to say that again.
Oh, for God's sake! Get over the pit wall thing. Oh my God.
Yeah. Sam likes to hit pit walls.
He doesn't.
He does.
Does not. That's a lie.
Obviously you picked up that 3-second penalty in the race. Was that just because of dodgy track limits, or were you pushing too hard? What was it about?
I mean, it was just in that final lap when me, Finn, and Mab were nearly 3 wide, and I tried to go on the outside of both of them and just went over too much. Yeah, that's just my fault, really. There's no question about that.
So it's just like
Poor track use, that is.
poor track use, poor judgment.
Yeah, pretty much.
And now you've seen your first race, you've seen the pace for everyone else. Where do you think Aston Martin are going to come?
I still believe we can be top 4 in constructors. It helps if obviously we're both there. Me not being there next week is a bit of a bummer. Well, this Sunday's a bit of a bummer, but yeah, I think after next week, me and Rapid really put up a good fight. I think we can still be top 4 in the constructors. Someone's going to go over. Yeah.
Going to be getting those top 4s, getting those podiums in. Well, thank you very much for thank you very much for your time, mate. I do wish you best of luck, not this week, but next week when you're back here.
Cheers, mate.
And I will be sending you a DM on how to avoid pit walls. Goodbye.
Oh, for God's sake.
All right. Next up, if you want to go next up, just raise your hand because I'm not sure if everyone's here. I'll get Mab on first, the American.
What's
Hello.
happening?
Hold a sec. Finn isn't here. Finn. Oh, I kicked him out.
Bruh.
How you doing, Mab?
Fine, I guess.
So, first race in, a lot of people said that Williams weren't going to be the best team. You've proved most of them wrong with that great performance. Do you have anything to say to the haters?
I want to give them probably the best American response I have. You can suck my balls.
We try and keep it PG, please, sir.
Deal with it. Too bad.
Okay. So, so obviously you came sixth with a 3-second time penalty, and you, Finn, and Sam were having a fight for most of the race.
Yeah.
Do you have anything to say to like Sam or Finn after battling so much of you? Do you think your teammates should have let you pass?
I mean, he was kind of faster than me the entire race, so. But it was a good battle with Sam and Finn. That was nice. And hopefully we can do it in Spain and many more races.
And finally, mate, now you've seen the pace of everyone, where do you think Williams is going to come?
Say that again?
Where do you think Williams will come in the constructors after the 22nd race?
That is a good question. Hopefully first, and that's it.
You're saying first?
I mean that's what we're aiming for.
Fair enough. Fair enough. As I said, I like the confidence.
I don't know if there's confidence, but I hope there is. All right.
All right. Have a very good day, mate. Good luck in Spain.
All right. Thank you.
Finn, you can go next.
Hello.
Hi, Finn. So your teammate's just been on here. He said you were faster than him. Is that true?
Yeah. I mean, I'm not gonna dress it up. I am. I'm sorry.
So obviously in the race, you got P4 before the stewards decided on penalties. Do you think you'll go down?
Well, it depends if the stewards actually penalise me for it.
That's true. It wasn't the rule books that it was illegal. So, but you and Sam, you've fought that entire race. It was very good battles, lots of great overtakes. Me and Salt loved commentating it. And Sam has just said you're his rival. Is he your rival, or do you not even think about him? Do you think you're better than him?
Well, as I said before, my closest rival would be Kyle, DJ Perks. So yeah, I don't really think about Sam. I just see him as another person on the track to overtake.
He's just irrelevant. Is he irrelevant to you?
I wouldn't say irrelevant. I mean, I notice him, but I notice him facing the wrong way most of the time. But yeah.
Notice him in your rear view mirrors.
Or in the pit wall.
Obviously you put up a fantastic race there. Scoring very high lap times, despite many people saying you were washed up, and you're in the worst team. I want to ask you your thoughts on Luke's win. I know you didn't see much of him, but what do you think of that sort of driving performance?
Well, just judging by who won, as far as I know, it was only him and Joe up front for the whole race. I have a feeling if I didn't spin in the opening lap, I would have been fighting with Joe still, because I was ahead of him, and I would have definitely tried my hardest to defend against him. So I have a feeling I might have been able to get the podium, but unfortunately I didn't. So Luke, to win against Joe. He's obviously done a good drive, and is what it is, I suppose.
Obviously you got spun out by Tadpole, which was very annoying for you, and did lead to you getting that penalty as well, the reset to track. What are your thoughts on that incident? Do you have anything to say to Tadpole?
It was a stupid move. I mean, I was down the inside and ahead of him, and he's cut across me and spun me around. As simple as that.
Do you have anything else to say to anyone that might be listening?
No, not really. Just looking forward to Spain, because I hear it's a difficult track on the new game.
So I can expect to get at least 7 DNFs. Great. Thanks for your time, mate. Next up, I'll be getting the McLaren manager Luca on as I continue to ignore Zoga. Hi, Luca. How you doing, mate?
Doing well, thank you.
So decent performance for you, Joseph Luke second. What do you think about that?
Yeah. I mean, expected really. I mean, just wanted to get a podium, and that's what he did. I mean, obviously, it was close with Luke at the front, but yeah, he did what we asked really, and yeah, couldn't have gone better really in that sense. We were meant to have another substitute driver in, but he, I don't know, encountered some issue or something, so couldn't make it. But yeah, it was decent.
I spoke to Stephen before these interviews on messages, and I sent him a couple of questions for him to answer. When I asked him about your performance, he called it amateurish, and that you could only produce one driver who does well.
That's a Stephen for you. I mean, it's not like he produced his drivers either. I mean, he just signed Luke from out of the blue, so you know. But no, we got Weeze. He's getting his Xbox at the end of August. We've got Monty, previous championship winner as well, and we've got Ollie, who's been a very fast driver for Mercedes in the past. So he's just talking out his ass, to be honest. But yeah, you know, but that's him, and it's not going to affect what we do.
Do you
Just
not
going to
have-
keep gunning for the top spot.
Do you not have the resources to have like more drivers, or is just nobody could be bothered to show up for you today? Or yes,
We do. It's just like, yeah. Well, I mean, the main problem was Monty. I don't know what happened. I think there was a communication error, and then he just he couldn't make it. I mean, I told him the race was a bit later, if I'm being perfectly honest, and then obviously he missed it because we didn't realize it was at 8 p.m. And then obviously the other drivers are busy. You know, Weiss doesn't have an Xbox, and Ollie was doing something last weekend. But I think 3 of the 4 drivers will be free next week, and then from the end of August, we'll have all 4 drivers ready to race. So yeah.
Obviously, I'm going to give you the platform to express your opinion about the Ace incident because I thought that's my job to do so.
Oh, on F2, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, happened in it. I mean, I think it seemed obvious from our perspective that Ace was pushed off the track, and you know, and obviously lost position and lost time. As for the incident afterwards, I think that was inevitable considering he needs to rejoin the track. But obviously, we have to respect what the stewards have decided, and you know, we appealed and it was denied, so we're not going to argue anymore.
Do you have anything to say to Salt about the first move?
Oh no, I don't have any harsh feelings against anyone. I mean, like at all. Like it's racing and things happen. I mean, happens all the time in real life as well. So, so yeah, no, nothing against him. I mean, it's just racing, and it was an incident, and we felt he was in the wrong. But you know, it happens.
And finally, are you happy with the sort of just second places, or are you going to be trying to push them for first?
Well, obviously we're trying to push to first. Obviously, you know, Luke is a very fast driver, but you know, as the season goes on, we get both our drivers, our main drivers, in there as well. I'm sure we'll be able to get some good results. Obviously, the top step is what we're aiming for, but I think we'll be happy if we can get some seconds and thirds most races.
Thank you very much for your time, mate.
No worries, man.
Next up, we'll get the Hungarian beast, Zoga, on. Hi, Zoga.
Hello.
How you doing, mate?
I'm fine.
Not the best weekend for you, was it? Got a
To be
7th and
honest.
a 10th.
Sorry.
You got a 7th. You came 7th and 10th in the F2. Is there any reason for this, or just an unlucky weekend?
Yeah, well, in the feature race, I didn't really have time to practice. So my first lap on the game was actually qualifying, and I messed that up. So I was pretty much last from the finishers who finished the one shot, and I really just didn't have any confidence, and with it some pace.
Hello?
Yeah, sorry for that.
That's fine.
So yeah, I didn't have pace and confidence, and my setup was, well, let's just put it that way. It wasn't stable, and I don't like an unstable car. And yeah, well, after the start, I just wanted to stay out of trouble, and I think I pretty much did. And managed to come home in P7, which was obviously P2 for the sprint, and I got a good start. And then that race was fine. Actually, I was surprised with my pace comparing to the feature, and I was running P5. I think it was lap 10 out of lap 12, and I just started on a curb. Coming out of the fast chicane. I think turn 5 or turn 6.
Yeah, that's a hard corner.
I mean, it wasn't even like a huge crash. It was just, well, it wasn't slow either. I just hit the barrier with the front of my car, and yeah, only the front wing came off, and it was just an instant retirement. And I'm sorry for the team that I let them down, and it was cost of 6 points in the end, which is not an ideal start to the season.
Not an ideal start, but I reckon in the future you'll be able to push forward, get a couple of podiums in there, maybe push for a top 3.
I'll try to. I'll see what I can do, and I'm definitely gonna practice more for the next race in Spain.
Well, thank you very much for your time, mate. I do wish you the best of luck in Spain. But before you go, do you have any comments about anyone else in your FC division? Anyone you wish to call out? Maybe say your rival?
Rival. Well, I'll say it's my own teammate, James. He's gonna be my rival this season.
You reckon you'll beat him?
Yeah, for sure.
For sure?
Absolutely. I'm gonna score double the amount he's gonna score.
Double the amount of points that he scores. I'll hold you to that, mate. Thank you very much for your time, Zoga. Wish you the best of luck in Spain.
Thank you.
All right, next up, I'll get Outrapped up here. Outrapped.
Alright.
So, people call you washed up, say you're going to be getting last, and you get 8th.
Who's been saying I'm washed?
I believe quite a few people said you were washed.
Well, clearly they don't know anything because that I think I did pretty well.
Well, you lapped faster than almost everyone apart from Wadey.
Yeah, exactly. Like I'm pretty sure for my first race back, that was a strong performance, and like yeah, I did drop back 2 positions. I did end up DNFing, but like my laps were pretty consistent until that DNF, and at one point there was even a podium on the cards. So it wasn't exactly, it wasn't bad.
Not bad at all. So, obviously, your teammate is Charlie. What do you think of Charlie's performance in that race?
He did all right. There was a part where I think as my teammate he could have helped me out a bit. When I was on that second stint on the medium tires, I probably could have made them last a bit longer if he'd backed up a bit. But I had to push them as like hard for a while, so they ended up dying quite early, and then I had to switch from a 1-stop to a 2-stop and stick on the softs for the end, and then eventually got too much deg on those tires, and then I was out.
I do have to say I'm quite surprised with all the finishing positions. But are you confused about people's pace, or do you think they're going to be faster, slower?
I thought they were going to be faster. Like I was expecting to finish right at the back, and if not, be one of the first DNFs. But I think I shocked myself with my pace in comparison to everyone else.
I think that a lot of people are still getting used to the new game, and that next week, well, on Sunday, we can expect people to be a lot faster as they get used to their form. Are you still improving? Are you doing time trials at Spain?
Yeah, I'm always improving. I'm always on the time trials. I've got to say, those Spain so far, I don't think it's going to be a good round for me. There's just certain parts of the track that I can't get used to, and especially that little kink after I think it's turn 9. Yeah, the part where they've changed the track in real life. There's,
Yeah, I think so.
there's that little left kink. It's like a bump. If you go too hard on that, you're gonna spin.
Yeah.
So it's hard to get right, and lots of practicing to do till Sunday. But hopefully, I can get things ironed out.
What position are you going to aim for?
I'm gonna aim for a points finish, but I can't say anywhere besides that. We'll have to see on DNFs and and just on my overall pace and how much I improve until the race.
Okay, thank you very much, mate.
Right, no bother. See you later.
See you later. Good luck. And finally, we'll be getting up the surprise podium in DJ Perks. Kyle.
Hello.
You DNF'd very quickly in the quali.
Yeah.
Why did you do that? How did that happen?
If I remember rightly, it was on the fast chicane. I think I came off the curb straight into the wall. No, it was on the spin curb, turn, I want to say 11. The one everyone got caught out by.
Yeah, so many people spun out. So many people spun out on that curve.
And I nearly saved it, and then didn't save it, obviously. And that was that. End of quality there and then.
But you started from right at the back of the grid, and you still managed to fight up to P3. That takes a lot of heart and desire. What do you think was the biggest contributing factor to that comeback drive?
Honestly, just keeping my nose clean.
Just avoiding the incidents.
I just wasn't close enough to the instance. And I don't know if anyone saw, but turn one, I sort of backed off a bit and then pushed all the way out through there. I've got up past a couple of people. And then after the first round of pit stops, me and Wadey were talking to the team, and it was agreed that I was lapping faster than him, so he made a very good team decision to let me straight through. And then I just DRS'd him then all the way up. One sec.
So Cole's had to go for a moment. His mum probably walked into his room and is shouting at him. While we wait, I'll try and entertain people. Carl got drive of the day on that race. He went from P14 to P3. He was the only person that came relatively close to Joe and Luke, but even then he wasn't very close to them. Overall, we had a very, very good race. Getting 11 positions. Don't believe he got a penalty. He might have though. I'll check now. He did in fact get a 3-second penalty, as did Joe. Right still. With next week being Spain, I reckon we can expect another very much action-filled race. Spain's a notoriously difficult track on this game, and there'll most likely be a DNF or two, maybe a safety car. So I would advise everyone that's watching this right now to make sure you go watch the F2, the PC League, and the TFR main league on Sunday, as it will be very fun racing, good commentary hopefully, and all around, I can assure you that you will enjoy it. Yeah, I'll read out a couple of minutes. Oh, no, Kyle's back. So Kyle, you got driver of the day on Sunday.
Yeah.
Do you believe you're going to be able to continue getting these sort of podium finishes, or do you reckon this was a one-time fluke?
Well, going into the race, we obviously, after my very interesting qualifying, we agreed as long as I could get a top 5 finish, that would be a good thing for the team. Top 5, that's all I wanted. And then, obviously, podium, but there was a lot. I want to say that there was a few drivers missing that race that would have been a key thing to stopping that happening. The Mercedes weren't there. There was one of the Astons wasn't there. One of the Red Bulls wasn't. Well, the Red Bull main driver wasn't there, as in Corey. And I believe McLaren were missing a driver.
Yes.
That's there. That's the top 6 spots is what we've expected will be taken, basically.
Yeah.
We do know that some drivers won't be turning up, so we have more chances, and we've agreed that to push all out and try and get the highest points finishes we can whilst those drivers aren't there, just so we can take advantage.
So you're trying to get these points now early to make sure you win that midfield battle later on in the season.
Yeah.
So with that being said, what is your objective for Spain?
Well, in fact, I was doing practice for Spain just a minute ago before I joined this.
Oh, sure.
But I'm not too confident. I'll be honest. I think my biggest down point of the track is the final chicane because it just ruins the lap, and probably the the fast right going onto the other DRS straight.
Oh yeah.
I have noticed I have a tendency to lose it on that curb a lot. I don't know if it's related or
Yeah, I sent it to you. Sorry, somebody was shouting at me. Say that again.
I don't know if the curb on the inside. I don't know if it's set up related or not, but I keep spinning on it. And there's also the entry to that whole complex of corners. I keep losing it on that too. So
with
not-
with such a good racing performance from back of the grid, surely that fills you with confidence going into races like Spain, where you know that even if you do bad in quali, you can make these great overtakes to push forward. Like, does that not make you confident in the future? He's dipped. I think Cole's having some technical difficulties.
My phone is giving up on that. The question.
I asked if you're confident about future races after coming back from such a bad situation.
About the rest of the season, 100%. But not Spain.
Anywhere but Spain.
I'm not the next two races. Well, I'm not here for Monaco, but Spain, I'm not too confident with. Baku is one of my stronger circuits, as I've found through practice.
Can you remind me how many laps you did at Baku for last season?
Formula 2 2 seasons ago, I did a 500 lap practice, which went on to be beneficial. 3 seasons ago now, sorry, Jesus Christ. Which went on to be beneficial because I ended up winning the race.
So you're saying practice makes perfect?
Yep.
Remember that, kids are listening. If you practice lots, you become a good F2 driver, but you still fail GCSEs.
And then when I made my F1 debut in Zandvoort last season, I got a podium off of that race. That was the only race I practiced for heavily, and then I didn't score at all in any of the races. So, and I didn't really practice as much for those. And Bahrain this season, I practiced a lot for that. Obviously, to get used to the game, the curbs, the handling.
So you're just saying, new game, Spain's a hard track. You didn't tell me what you're aiming for in Spain, just saying you try and get some points. Thank you very much for your time, Kyle. I wish you best of luck at Spain. So I still have some messages that people have sent in to me. I'll have some quotes tweeted by Kyle later on. Stephen wrote a very interesting response to some of my questions earlier on today. So I asked him, why do you believe Luke won the race? For those who do not know, Luke is L7, his second driver. Stephen said that it was because Luke was the best driver on the track. The sooner he gets better grip, the better it will be in the future. And then I asked him, how do you think the rest of the grid performed? Obviously, I want to try and see other managers' opinions on their rivals. To which he said what I quoted to Luca earlier, that Joe did well. What else did I say? If McLaren could have brought one more driver here, they probably would have had a lead, but I guess they just don't have the resources. And then I asked him, what do you think of the McLaren performance? To which he said, amateur. They produced one driver who did well, very well actually, but had no backup driver or anything. Kind of pathetic for a team that's a real contender last season and should be this season, but we'll take the easy points. Thanks. This is obviously a call out to Luca, and I do believe this about the title contenders Mercedes not showing up. Well, what can I say? They're quitting already? Already given up? How am I meant to know? How am I meant to know? All I know, if this continues, Marcel's hair will be growing grey, as his drivers have never shown up. And it doesn't matter how good his drivers are, if they don't show up. It's just repeating himself a bit. Like I said before, my mic keeps breaking up. Finn, can you hold the mic real quick? Do I need to repeat that? All right. Okay. If my go back to a time, but already given up. How am I meant to know? All I know is if this continues, Marcel's hair will be growing grey as he never has any drivers show up. Doesn't matter how good they are if they don't show up. Like I said before, if you're leading after round 6, I think it's our championship. This is where Red Bull are meant to be behind. Marcel's obviously the Mercedes manager. So Stephen has written out a very clear message to his rivals saying that you need to step your game up or otherwise he will run through you. For all the other messages, I will have some quotes tweeted out. However, there's nothing really important in any of them, so I'll be ending the press conference here. Wish you guys all the best of days and be sure to tune in for Spain.